To keep yourself updated, subscribe to Indigo Learn and click the bell icon and download our app OneFin to start learning on the go.
If at all there is some problem in other subjects, like for a lot of you there could be difficulty in mathematics and all, you can cover up with accounting. Now what are those kind of chapters? You have average due date, you have account current, you have bill of exchange, you have sale of goods on approval or return basis, where there will not be much of a difference in the type of questions asked in the examination and what you have learned in the class. You can get unique kind of adjustments in chapters like inventories, consignment. All of those cases you may get unique adjustments, but these kind of chapters are straightforward. The second chapter, which is very much straightforward and which can help you score good marks, is this final accounts and partnership accounts. Now a lot of you may be thinking that this is one of the difficult chapter, it has so many concepts, but trust me, if you practice well, and because of the stepwise marking that is given to you guys, you can score really good marks in these two chapters. Because say for example, there is a trading and profit and loss account and balance sheet question for, let's say, 16 marks or 20 marks, whatever marks it may be. If you do P&L correctly, you get 5 to 6 marks. If you get balance sheet correctly, you get 4 to 5 marks. If you get trading correctly, you get 2 to 3 marks. And for working notes, you will get marks. And you will not have many unique adjustments. There may be a couple of unique adjustments, but this is one chapter where most of the adjustments are common. And even if you are able to do 70 to 80% of those correctly, you can ensure that you will get good marks in these questions, right? Again, from company's account point of view, questions are straightforward. They are mostly repetitive in nature. Institute will try to test you hard on sometimes in BRS and rectification of errors. So this is a broad perspective by how you should approach the CA Foundation accounting paper. Now, why I focused on this initially is, as you start your preparation, there must be something in your mind which would say, okay, these are the few chapters which I should focus more upon, so that my threshold of 40, 50, 60, that is covered. And then whatever extra comes up, that becomes your bonus, right? And a lot of you are scared or might be scared thinking that institute will give only tough questions in the examination. It doesn't work that way. You take up any question paper, I will guarantee that up to 50 marks, about 50 marks of the question paper would be straightforward or repetitive in nature. It would be either from the study material or from the MTPs, RTPs, mock test papers, whatever it is. Those are the questions which you can handle easily. There will not be any complication. Then you will have 20 to 30 marks which will be slightly difficult, and there will be about 20 marks which will be very difficult. So your focus should be, how can I master, how can I score maximum in the questions which are straightforward, right? So that is one thing you should keep in mind. Don't always think that from every chapter you will get the most difficult question in the examination. There will be a balance. The institute maintains a balance that for each kind of difficulty level, you will get different kinds of question. So I bet 40 to 50 marks would be straightforward, which can be easily attempted if you have completed the course and revised once properly, right? Now, the other thing that students have in mind is, how much should we focus on theory? How much should we focus on practical? So for that, I randomly took up one question paper of one of the attempts, right? So if I scan through the question paper, so this is November 19 paper. State the first question, the true and false question, where you get 12 marks. This, I think all of you should, try to score out or at least 8 to 10 marks out of this. Now here, you just need to identify whether it's true or false, and then you have to give reasons, right? So mostly these are the questions which would be attemptable. 4 to 5 questions you can handle easily. This is a theory part which is generally tested. Then sometimes they may ask direct kind of a questions as a distinction between provision and contingent liability is given here. So it is up to you to define what is a provision, what is a contingent liability, and what is the difference. And then if you see, there is a 4-mark practical question. Then you have this question on BRS after that, which is for 10 marks. Then you have a question on rectification of error, 10 marks. Then you have a question on consignment, 10 marks. Then you have sale or return account for 5 marks, right? Then average due date or account current, right? So now what I was saying is, these kind of questions like average due date, 5 marks. These are the questions, if it comes in the examination, you should be like, yes, these 5 marks are inside my pocket. I will score 5 out of 5 in these, because There is nothing they can twist and turn in these kind of questions. These are very straightforward. Stepwise, there would be stepwise marking. You have stepwise solutions, so there would not be much of a challenge. Then, so this is a question on partnership. Partnership, a lot of you are scared, I know, because you feel that, you know, this is a newer concept. If at all some kind of fear is there on partnership, you can choose to attempt these questions towards the end of the examination. Don't take it up immediately. You can take it up towards the end. Then you have a question from NPO. Now, whether it be NPO, whether it be final accounts, these are the questions where 99% of the time there should not be any challenge in tallying the income statement and tallying the balance sheet. Rare cases there would be some kind of difficult adjustments, but most of the times you should be able to do this because these are simple principles and step-based questions. So if a trial balance is given to you, you are very clear that yes, from this trial balance, I have to take these items to the profit and loss. I have to take these items to the balance sheet. And this is how I should do the adjustments. Same thing comes when it comes to NPO. They would give a receipts and payment account, or they would give an income and expenditure account. And based on that, you can work back and do it. Right. So this is on errors, 5 marks or long question. Then manufacturing account for 5 marks. P&L account, revised P&L account kind of a thing. And then based on the company's account and a small theory question. Now, why I ran you through one of the sample questions is to tell you that the questions are spread across different chapters and you should target to pick up those questions which are straightforward, which are easy, and try to get maximum marks out of those questions, right? A lot of time what happens is where students try to do mistake is, say for example, partnership. You would have spent a lot of time in understanding the partnership accounting, goodwill treatment and all of that. And in examination also, you will try to do it at first. You will try to pick up the partnership question first. And if that doesn't tally, your entire paper gets lost. So what I suggest is concepts which you find difficult, and partnership I'm giving for an example. For some, it may be a BRS. For some, it may be rectification of error. Different students will have different kinds of issues when it comes to the type of questions which they find difficult. So if at all you find something difficult in the examination question paper, keep it aside, park it aside, and do it at the end. Do the questions which are straightforward. For example, if I was a student and if I found difficulty in partnership, I would leave partnership aside and then maybe pick up something like this question, which is account current and average due date. Simple, straightforward. Sale or return account. There are simplified, straight set of entries. There is nothing extra to be done. And then consignment. Again, consignment is sometimes difficult and sometimes it will be straightforward, right? So this is how largely you should approach your examination. Now, one more thing what I would like to share with you before I start discussing with you guys is this schedule which we had prepared initially and had shared with you. You can change the date and customize it as per your requirement, and how you should study it every day, from what time to what time, what are the topics you should try to cover and try to finish up is given in this schedule. You should make use of this schedule for, you know, proper timelines and proper revision, right? So this is how you should approach. Now coming to your specific attempt, which is June end. So we are at April beginning, right? We have April, May, June. You have 90 days. And if I multiply 90 days by even 8 hours a day, even if I say 8 hours a day, that gives you 720 hours of preparation time. So even if you have not started as on today, if you start even today, you have enough time to complete the entire syllabus of CA Foundation of all the subjects. So you should not be bothered at all. I know that you would have some, you know, you may be having your 12th examination. Some of you would be writing a 12th examination, but a lot of your 12th examination would be covered when you prepare CA Foundation. So even if you cut out all of those, you have sufficient time to prepare for all the subjects. So time wise, there should not be any concern, but yes, you have to commit that you will be willing to spend 8 to 10 hours every day. I know there will be some gaps in between, but largely you should commit to yourself that you will spend 8 to 10 hours every day in preparation. If you commit this from your side and if you prepare properly, I don't think there is any reason why your result would not be favorable. You will pass with flying colors, right? So this is one part on the schedule thing. We have given the schedules here. If you have any doubt in regarding this schedule and all, you can ask us. We'll try to, you know, help you out on that. And then after you have completed one round of reading or one round of study or one round of our lectures, then you should start revising. Now, which topics to be revised? Should we revise everything? Should we revise something once? Should we revise something twice? How should we do that? So as far as your revision is concerned, by the time you complete a subject, you would realize that some of the chapters are easy, some of the chapters are difficult, and some of the concepts are really confusing. So things which are more confusing, which are more difficult, you should revise them more. That is maybe 2 times to 3 times. Things which are straightforward, which are simpler, which you have already learned in your 11th and 12th standard, for those you do need not spend much time. No, a single revision would be sufficient. And after this syllabus is completed, you should focus on solving past exam papers, MTPs, RTPs, and mock test. So we'll also be releasing a set of mock test series for you guys, which you can attempt and which will be evaluated, and we'll give you feedback on that. So things are in the pipeline. You will get a notification about that as and when things get finalized. So your preparation should be prepare, revise, and attempt past exam question papers and RTPs, right? That would be sufficient for you for your preparation. Now, when it comes to the actual examination, I am telling this with my experience of scoring 90% plus at foundation as well as inter and final. The best way to score marks in the examination is to have a proper structure to your answers. Ensure that you finish up all the working notes. Right now, when you're studying itself, make it a habit of doing working notes parallelly. You would have seen in our lectures, we focus very much on the working notes because they carry marks for you. So if you ignore working notes, if you try to take shortcuts, you will not get full marks in the examination. A lot of students lose marks in the examination because they don't write narrations with journal entries. I will tell you, you will lose marks. At least 1 to 2 marks will be lost if you don't write narration. If you don't prepare the working notes, again, there also you will lose marks. It could be a simple thing, maybe a calculation of depreciation of 10%. Even for that, you have to prepare a working note, or at least inside the ledger, write your working note. For accounting, it is very, very important, right? And a lot of times you may get stuck up that your balance sheet is not tallying, maybe possible due to some error and all. Even if it is not tallying, keep it aside and move further. Because even if you have done 80% of the problem correctly, you will get 80% of the marks for that particular question, at least this P&L and balance sheet related question. So no need to worry about that. Don't waste time that, my balance sheet is not tallying and, what should I do? So these are the large pointers from my side on how you should prepare and how you should, progress with your preparation. Now, if you have any specific questions, you can raise hands and then, you can ask the question. It will be helpful to others as well. I'll try to take up question one by one. So whoever wants to ask question, you can raise your hand. I'll unmute you and then you can ask your question. Or if you find it difficult in talking, you can use the option of chat box. Right, so I'm just writing it here. You can use the option of chat box and you can ask question here as well. Question specific to preparation and how to handle stress. If you are having any kind of stress, if you're finding any difficulty in schedules, you can ask. Okay, so there is a question. Sir, any extra question will be given chapter wise in accounts. So extra question meaning from our side. So what we suggest to the students is to go back to your RTPs, MTPs and past exam papers, try to solve them on your own. And then if you have any doubt in that, you can ask us. Now, the reason we follow this approach is as an institute, we can give you hundreds of questions. I can solve hundreds of questions and give it to you in the class. But the thing is, till the time you do it on your own, you will not be able to get over the fear or get over the, difficulty levels in the question. So it's like a coach can give a lot of instruction. They can ask the students to practice a lot. But till the time the players go on their own and they start playing on their own, till the time the students start solving on their own, they will not be able to get confidence. So that is the reason why we insist that you please finish whatever we have done in the class. Then you try to finish the practice questions given in the study material. Then you go to RTPs, MTPs, past papers. If you find any question difficult, you are not able to solve, you can ask us in our forums. If you feel that, even that explanation is not sufficient, and if we feel that, that question is slightly difficult, we will solve that for you. So don't worry about that. But you have to practice on your own. Only then you will get confidence to write it in the examination, right? Then there is another question which says theory part will be from the material or they'll be general. Now theory questions, what the institute does is the first chapter which has your theory, right? Some questions come from that. Other questions can come from any other chapter. So as a paper setter in the past, there is no specific instruction that you have to pick theory from a specific chapter. You can pick up theory from any chapter. Now theory is your 2 marks question of true and false and that 4 marks question of short notes. So don't be too much bothered about theory. As you start practicing, as you start reading, you will understand a good amount of theory and you will be able to attempt those questions in the examination. Then next question is, as question number 1 is compulsory, should we write the sub questions of that compulsorily? So how you should write it in the examination is, if you start question number 1, so let me come back to, let me just share that with you. Let us say I am writing this a paper. Question number 1A, I know. Question number 1A, I know. And question number 1B also I know. Question number 1C, I don't know, for example. So what I'll do is, I'll first attempt question number 1A, then I'll attempt 1B, then I will leave a couple of pages for 1C and I'll continue with other questions. At a later point in time, if I have time, I may come back and I'll finish up, question number C. If I don't have time, I'll just strike off that paper and I will hand it over to the invigilators, right? Please ensure all the questions of a single question, all the subparts of a single question are answered at the same place. So don't do that. You have first answer 1A, then you answer 2A, then you answer 3B. Don't do like that. If you have any doubt, leave a couple of pages and then you can continue. Now, why I am saying this? As an examiner, if you keep on switching questions, the examiner will get frustrated. Okay. So best is to do all the questions of a single question at the same place. Now, another problem what a lot of students face is, how do we finish up? How do we know how much space is to be given for P&L account, balance sheet and all of that? Don't worry about the space. You are paying the examination fees. Institute will not refuse you additional answer sheets. So for P&L, you can leave 1 page. For balance sheet, you can leave 1 page. For working notes, you can leave another 2-3 pages. And then you can do your solution. Don't be, miser in writing the answers. Don't write in the margins. Don't write in the last line. Take sufficient space. If you want, leave sufficient space. Okay, because you are paying for the examination and you will get sufficient additional sheets if needed, right? How to make the schedule of study planner if we are unable to complete a particular concept in a particular day. Okay, so now what you need to do is, I'll share that study planner with you. Right. Now here, how should I do changes? Now, if you observe, I have given some blank places here, right? Why are these blank places given? These blank slots are given so that if at all something is missed up, you can take it up, right? That is one thing to be done. If you feel that, no, even that is not sufficient, then you have to move it down. So basically, let us say today, for example, so let me put, I'm revising this schedule planner for today's Friday, right? So for Saturday, Sunday, Monday. 4th or 5th of April. So I'm changing it to 5th of April. Okay. So from 5th of April, this planner is revised. Now let us say I did on 5th of April, 6th, I completed. 7th, I could not complete. So for some reason, I could not complete what was given to me on 7th. Now, how do I change it? How do I change it? So there are 2 ways. One, you change the date, you make it 8th April manually here. All the other dates will be automatically shifted downwards, right? So that will happen automatically. But if you start doing this more often, if you feel that more often you have to change the schedule, then you can get in touch with us and we'll try to figure out why are you taking so much of time, right? So I've given sufficient buffer for you guys so that you will be able to finish up whatever is required in that given specific day, and you can use this blank slot somewhere in between we have given, so that you can cover up if at all something is missed out. If at all it gets difficult, you have to keep on pushing the schedule downwards. Or let's say I could not complete this, so what you can do is you can select all of these chapters, you use Control X, and then you can press enter, so it shifts downward. So that is possible. But please ensure that this deadline of ending the course should not be very close to the examination. So that is one thing you have to keep on monitoring on your own. Okay, so yeah, Nisam has some question. You can ask Nisam. You are unmuted. You can ask the question if you want, or you can type it in the chat box.
Sir, Hello, sir. Good morning.
Good morning, Nisam.
Yes, sir. How to do the revision effectively? Sir, why I'm telling is, say, a month ago, I have learned some chapters, and
Correct.
after that, few days or some more, say, 4 weeks back, if I take
Correct.
that same question, I may not be able to get that 100% efficiency which I would have got when I'm learning that chapter.
Okay. So how to do revision effectively is the question, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Sure. I'll address that. Okay. So coming to revision, there are two things you should keep in mind. One thing is, as a student, you will tend to forget things, and I'm telling you out of my own experience. Okay. Till the time before the examination, don't know. There is always a fear in the student mind that I have forgotten this, I have forgotten that. And as you progress further, when you go to inter or when you go to final, the syllabus is so vast that it is difficult to revise everything in one day, and it is very difficult to retain everything for the examination. So some amount of comfort or some amount of relaxation you should give to yourself, that you will not be able to remember 100% of what you read. That is first thing. Okay. Second thing is, now how should I revise? So I have given a revision slot down here for 2.5 hours, 5 to 7:30, and even after that, after dinner also you can take out some time. So what you need to do is, you read whatever in the morning, meaning and scope of accounting. Need not read everything again fully, but maybe spend half an hour to 45 minutes to quickly glance through maybe the side headings and all, and see how much can you recall by the end of the day. That is first step. Second step is, before you start the next day, spend about 5 to 10 minutes what you have learned the previous day. Now, so this is what I have written here at point number 7 also. Before starting the next day session, spend about 10 to 15 minutes to glance through the previous day's learning. When you do this twice, right, once at the end of the day and second time before starting the class or starting the next chapter, you will get to know that some things you are able to retain, some things you may have forgotten, or something may appear as new to you again. Mark those points specifically or note it down separately in a notebook, so that when you are revising, you put extra focus on these kind of difficulties. Same thing happens, for example, you are doing some problem and there is a unique adjustment, right? Now, if that is a unique adjustment for you, see, unique adjustments could be, some adjustments could be unique for you, some adjustments the same adjustment may be simpler for others. So what you need to do is, if you find that some adjustments are unique, some adjustments you are finding it very difficult, mark it, highlight it, keep it separately, note it down in a separate place, so that before the examination, at the time of revision, you go through that adjustment once again and you have absolute comfort on what you are doing. Like this, if you revise, so by the time, let us say, even if you start on 5th of April and by the time you end this, let us say it is 31st of May, you still have one full month to go for an all-out revision, right? If you follow this approach, let me tell you, you will forget things. I am not saying that you will remember everything till the examination, but you will be able to retain more and more as you revise more and more, right? And if some things are very difficult to recall and remember, make it a habit of writing down in your notebook. So that helps you to, retain it for a longer period.
Hello, sir. How to make like summary notes for the exam? Should we do, or because a few days back from the exam, it will be very, very difficult to cover the entire this thing. So
Correct.
how should we make the summary notes?
So
for
that's
that
what I'm saying. Whatever points you're finding it difficult when you revise it for the second time, you can just mark it in your notebook or you can mark it in your study material. And when you're revising, focus on those areas only.
Yeah.
Okay. And
yes, sir. Then how should we effectively utilize the 15 minutes reading time in the accounts exam?
yeah, that I'll come towards the end of the thing.
Yeah.
Okay. Thanks.
Okay, sir.
Right. So there is another question which says, can we write working notes and then the financial statements? Yes, you can do that. In fact, in all my foundation exams, inter exam and final exams, I have done that. I have prepared the working notes first and then I have prepared the final solution, because you cannot prepare the final solution without the proper working notes. Okay. So as far as questions, right now, so there is a question which says ICI will give only limited questions chapter wise. How should we practice more? Now the thing is, even if you practice 100 questions for one chapter, ICAI can give a question which is not covered, or it could be a very new question. It could be 101st question, right? You may practice 100 problems, institute will give you 101st problem. So there will never be an end to this. In fact, as you go to inter and final, these problems will come up more and more. So the way to handle this is master the concept. If you master the concept, question may come from anywhere. If you know the concept, you'll be able to solve it. Right? So it has happened with me personally when I was writing my CA final. They asked a question which was never asked in the past 15 years. Right? They combined 3-4 concepts and they gave a question in the examination. But because I knew the concept, I was able to answer that in the examination. Then is it beneficial to write extra question? So institute has been, changing their stance on, sometimes they give the highest marks awarded to a particular question. Sometimes they take only the first 5 questions. So attempt by attempt, they keep on, giving you guidelines as to, what will be done with the extra question. If the institute comes up and says, let's see what is the, clarification for upcoming attempt. If the institute comes up and says that, the best 5 questions will be valued, then if you have time, you can definitely go and answer the 6th question, right? So that's what. So you can practice. So another extension of the earlier question, which is like how to practice more adjustments. That's what. There may be 100 adjustments. There will be another 100 adjustments in the next 1 year. So there is never an end to it. So to master the adjustments, you should be able to read the adjustments and understand the adjustment. And then whatever is the adjustment that comes up in the examination, 90% of the cases or 95% of the cases, you will be able to handle. If we aim for 100% perfection, what may happen is we may overburden ourselves, right? And in that stress, we may screw up the examination. So give a margin of error of 4 to 5% for yourself and then do the preparation. In fact, when I wrote my CA final, I could attempt only 740 marks out of 800, right? Because by choice, I had left certain things because it was taking too much of my time versus the benefit that I would get by, remembering those concepts. So, that is how you should plan. Don't plan for 100% perfection. Maybe even if you can attempt 80 to 90 marks properly, that should be more than sufficient for the examination. Then there is another question. Should we prepare notes side by side? So what you can do is, as far as notes are concerned, there is already a set of notes given to you. In the same note, you can make notings using the PDF typer, right? Okay, so coming back to the question, notes. So what you can do is, you can, whatever things you find it different from what is given in the notes or something you find, yes, this may be, important, or I may forget this, you can make a running note while you're watching video. That is fair enough. That should not be much of a difficulty. After finishing the class, it may be very difficult for you to, recall and write everything. So take the notes. In that, you can do the marking specifically to understand what is done. So one thing for all of you is, the way to prepare is not very different from what you did in your 10th standard or in your 12th standard. Just that you're moving one level higher. It's like, maybe just for, comparison's sake, 10th standard may be your, let's say a Ranji trophy. Maybe, foundation is maybe your T20, next level from that, right? Maybe a national level tournament. Then inter will be maybe an international level tournament. You're just moving one level ahead. The way to prepare, the way to learn is not very different. What you did, what worked for you in 10th standard and 12th standard, the same thing will work for you now. Just that you have to move to the next level. Yeah, we are planning to conduct mock test and we will give you evaluated answers for that. Can you be able to give format of financial statements separately? So this is already given as a part of the notes. Anything specific you have, you can send an email to support. We will help you. So there's one question which is saying that, is working somewhere and is it possible to pass the exam in less time? So less time means you have to plan it accordingly. You should be able to dedicate about 400 hours of your time. So maybe it may not be possible in 3 months. You have to give 6 months to yourself. So instead of doing 8 to 10 hours every day, you have to put maybe 3 to 4 hours every day. If you're doing that along with the job, you can give next attempt. November 21 video session is scheduled for the students today afternoon, and we'll have one more session, after the May exams are conducted. Mock test papers, exact numbers and form modalities and all, we will announce maybe in a week to 10 days time. Okay. Now there was one question by one of the student where he asked us, how to utilize that 15 minutes time frame, right? Now, let me tell you how much ever you prepare, how much ever you revise, what matters is what you do in that 3 hours time in the examination. And the foundation for the 3 hours time in the examination is a 15 minutes reading time. Now, how do we do that? Right. So for that, let me share the question paper with you once again. Yeah. Now I have this question paper in front of me and I have 15 minutes to do what? 15 minutes to decide which question I will not be attempting or which 4 questions I will be attempting. So basically, candidates are required to answer any 4 from remaining 5 answers, which means there is no point in spending time understanding question number 1 in this 15 minutes, because question number 1, you have no choice. You have to anyways attempt it. So forget that question. Spend that 15 minutes time to understand this remaining 5 question. And even in that, so the approach you should take is, okay, what is this question? This question is on BRS. So if I start reading line by line, it will be very time consuming. So I know, okay, this is for BRS, keep it aside. Then there is rectification related question. Then this is consignment. Now, don't get into details of what are these numbers. No point, because whatever be the number, the solution, the approach to solution will not change, right? Then, okay, there is something called sale, to prepare sale or return account. Then there is account current, right? Then there is a partnership. Now you can see this question. If you come to this partnership, this is a slightly lengthy question for 10 marks and it has profit, goodwill, executors account and all of those things, right? Then you have question which says receipts and payment and subscription account from income and expenditure account. It has balance sheet given to you. Now you see this is a lengthy question again. But you should not waste your time in reading out, okay, there is subscription 1920. This is, there is an opening balance of so much. This is the furniture is 9,900. Your focus should not be on the numbers. Your focus should be on what is the question asking here. It is asking us to prepare our receipts and payment and subscription. How does the adjustment look like? It says, okay, there is something which is paid in advance or paid in arrears. Then something has to be capitalized. There is some subscription outstanding. Then some furniture was purchased and then some subscription was received in advance. So by glancing through these adjustments, you will get a comfort that yes, I may be able to answer this question. Okay. So this is how, for example, this, whatever is given in this trial balance still from, from provision for doubtful debt till here, this may not be of much of significance to you, right? What is the question? It says corrected trial balance by debiting or crediting any residual errors to a suspense account. So basically, provision for doubtful debts, it's not debit, it has to be credit. So by looking at a couple of items, you can understand, oh yes, this 5 marks is easy, I can do it directly. What you should not bother is what is given in this column and this column, because whether it is 250 or whether it is 500, your treatment will be the same. So that is how you should read your question and quickly decide as to which questions you will not be able to solve or you will not be solving, and which is the easiest one which you can take up first after question number 1. And if question number 1 itself is difficult, you start with the question which you have the best comfort in. And the reason why I say that is, if you watch any cricket match, right? Let's say you're watching a T20 match. In the first 3-4 overs, if the team is performing well, generally they will end up with a very good score, right? We call it well begun is half done. So take up the question which you are most comfortable with, which you think that you will be able to answer, make it correct the first time. When you do that, 2 things will happen. Once you have done a 20-mark question properly, you get a confidence that you have already covered 50% of your passing mark. So 40 is the passing mark. For example, if you do a 20-mark question properly, you are done. Yes, my 20 marks is safeguarded. Another 20-mark question, 40 marks is done. And then another 1 more question, you will have a different level of confidence. But if you do the ulta, if you start with, let us say, for example, I am finding this question, just an example, I am finding this question slightly difficult. I don't know how to handle this kind of question. It is slightly longer, right? So if this happens, if you're not comfortable with this question, you may have spent a lot of time in partnership while preparation. But in exam, this question is not very, clear and you are finding it difficult. Do it at the end. Don't do it in the beginning, because to tally this question, to figure out what to do in this question, you will waste a lot of time and energy. So do the question which is the most easiest one for you. That may be the 6th question, that may be the 4th question, that may be the 5th question, doesn't matter. You can pick up any question which you want.
Yeah, hello sir. Sir, day before the exam, which all questions should we do? Like should we go for selected or should we do the question papers?
Okay, I'll come to that.
Okay, sir.
So, okay, there are other questions. What is the best way to get AIR1 in CA Foundation? Now, if you ask me that, if I go back in 2006 when I had written my CA Foundation, then it used to be PE1. The best way to get AIR1 is, or any AIR for that matter, out of those 4 subjects, identify which subjects can give you that extra marks, which will help you to score that extra additional marks. For example, which question or which subject will be your Virat Kohli and Rohit Sharma, who can give you the higher marks, which will make your score higher, right? Focus on those, try to ensure that you can get maximum marks in your best subjects. It could be any of the subjects. And then ensure that other subjects don't score too low. That is also very important. Focus on concepts, focus on practicing maximum of past exam questions, MTPs and RTPs. That will definitely help you to, get a better score. And I hope one of you, come up with flying colors and get, ranks in the foundation exam. For law paper, we have a separate session. You will get an invite separately on that. These videos will be available till the last day of the examination without payment of any extra fees. So don't worry about that. So if I cover highest marks chapter and focus only on that, is it possible to pass? Yes, it is possible to pass. You can get 20 out of 20 in a final accounts question. There is no doubt about that. But don't follow that strategy today. Okay, today your focus should be to cover everything. Towards the end, if something happens and if you're not able to cover everything, then switch your strategy to focusing on specific thing. Yeah, as far as rapid revision classes are conducted, we do conduct specific, chapters revision, revision classes. We have done it in the past also. You can check our YouTube channel and then we will do it. This time also we'll be conducting some of them. It will not be for all the topics, everything. Some important topics which will help you to, quickly grasp the concepts. Each sub question you should start on a fresh page except the true and false question.
Hello, sir. My name is Harsha.
Yes, Harsha.
Yeah, I have a small doubt regarding final accounts, sir.
Yes.
In final accounts, we have the structure of the account or the format of the account. We can write in horizontal or vertical column or horizontal, sir.
No. So you have to, for trading profit and loss account, you have to follow the format that is taught in the class.
Okay, sir.
Okay,
And
exam,
how can write, sir? In vertical format or in horizontal format?
In the paper?
Yes, sir. Exam paper.
So that depending on, see, if it is a normal trading profit and loss account, you can write vertically. If you are doing partners capital account, if there are 3 columns partner, then you can put, for example, or 3 columns cash book also, you can do it horizontally, not a problem.
Sir, we can use the markers or anything for highlighting the points, sir, in exam.
So you can use only pencil to underline and highlight. You will not have time to do that. Okay. So initially to all of you, your focus first should be finish the paper in 3 hours time. Then if you have time, you do the beautification.
Sir, I have a small request, sir, regarding if there is any WhatsApp group for every subject, then it will be very helpful.
So right now we have an app. We also have forum on the website, which is as good as a WhatsApp group. You can, students are asking questions there. You'll get the solution. Subject wise, it's given there.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
So for all of you, good that this question came up. You should first focus on completing the paper in 3 hours time. So in fact, when I was writing my examination, I didn't even draw lines at that point of time for PNL and trading account. I used to draw the lines at the end if I had time. Okay. So beautification, underlining and all of that, do it towards the end. Don't do it in the beginning.
Sir, what is the time should be allotted for every problem, sir? Can you please...
1.8 minutes for every mark. Calculate.
But the process of the file accounts and other accounts, company accounts or the partnership accounts are long, sir. So it may take around 25 to 30 minutes for every problem.
No, so what you have to practice in a way, if it is a 10-mark question, you should finish up in 18 minutes. If it is if you made some mistakes and if it is taking too much of time to identify the mistake, leave that question and move to the next question.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
And at the end, if you have time, you come back into, because to complete or rectify one question, you will lose time for the other question. This is for all of you.
Yes. Thank you, sir.
Okay. Inventory is an important topic. In fact, so I don't know why a lot of you are scared with inventory. Nothing specific to you. Okay, a lot of students come back asking inventory. They are finding difficulty, but inventory is not only important here. Inventory is equally important when it comes to CA Inter. Inventory will be important when you do financial management. Inventory will be important when you do cost accounting, and in your real life also, inventory will be the most important thing when you do audit and all, right? So if you are finding it difficult, please visit the question, the subject again, the chapter again, and master this topic so that in inter, final, and in your practice or in employment, you will not face any difficulty. Inventory is very, very important for financial students.
Sir, like for partnership accounts and accounting for special transactions, the revision classes will be conducted, no, sir?
Yeah, we'll conduct. So you can, in previous attempt also we had done, you can check our YouTube channel where we had done for special transactions, for consignment, and I think one more other chapter, bills of exchange also we had done once, right? So we'll try to cover 2 to 3 topics in 1 to 1.5 hour quick revision. Okay. So that you have some comfort before you write the examination.
Sir, in the consignment accounts, how we can remember this general entries, sir? Because they are very
Why do you need to remember?
consuming. They are very confusing, sir.
Okay, so what is no? So there is nothing to remember. If you know the consignment, say consignment account. If you go back to my classes also, if you have completed it, I have told it very clearly that it is like any other profit and loss account or trading account, right? So in what do you do in trading account? In the trading account, you will debit the expenses. In consignment account also, you'll debit the expenses. So, and what will you credit? You will credit the income. So once you understand this logic in that ledger format, you will be able to remember those. And then see, most of the times what comes in the exam is not the journal entries, but the ledger accounts. And once you're through with the concepts of the ledger account, if you treat, so if you're finding it, slightly difficult, I have told this in the class also, think of it as if it is a trading profit and loss account and try to understand that. Then you will see, yes, who has incurred the expenses, consigner or the consignee, whatever expenses are there that are debited to that particular account. Whatever income are there that is credited to that particular account. So that should not be a challenge. Okay. And whenever we do this specific, there is a video already on this consignment thing of, the last time when I had done the revision, you can, have a look at that, and that will help you maybe understand it much, in a quicker manner or summarize it. Now, should we go in depth of every concept or should we learn only with exam point of view? Now, this is a very, very important question, which a lot of you should understand right away. One, we have designed our courses so that it is sufficient for you at the foundation level to understand the concept and also be helpful for your exam preparation. Beyond that, at this level, don't try to get in more depth at foundation level. For example, let us say there is a topic of provisions and contingencies. Okay. Now, the depth of contingent liabilities you will understand in inter and final. Whatever is relevant for you right now, we have provided so much for your understanding and for your examination purpose. Okay. Because what happens is a lot of students, I know, you are a lot more enthusiastic. You want to learn everything, the depth of everything. But if you start doing that, because the syllabus is so vast, and if you try to cover everything under that particular topic, you will lose the essence of preparation. So the goal also should be that, yes, I will practice, I will learn, but also I need to pass the examination, right? So it's like, think of a batsman. If he wants to practice all kinds of shots possible, then he may not be able to perform well in the examination or in the final match, right? Helicopter shot, Dhoni will play. Reverse sweep, Sachin will play. So think of that concepts. If you have doubt, if you have not understood, it's a different thing. But you understand the concepts as it is taught in the class, that is sufficient for you at your level. And as you progress to inter and final, you will start learning more on those.
Sir?
Yes, Chaitanya?
Sir, like the model papers which are answered by me, if I kept them in forum, then they will evaluate that answer, sir.
You see, one is we'll conduct our own mock test. Okay.
Yes.
Second is, if you have written your own mock test and if you want some comments, or if you have got your certified copies and if you want comments, you can send it to support. About in a week to 10 days time, I will have a look at it, or there is some, there's other CAs also in the team. They will have a look at it and they will get back to you with the feedback.
Yes, sir. If you conduct the mock test papers, then how to answer to them, sir?
So you have to see, we'll give you the question paper, you have to answer on your own, take photographs of that and send it to support. We'll give the process, don't worry. You have time now, Abhito. It's in June, right?
Yes.
So process will be told to you. You can send it. We'll give you feedback on how you need to improve your presentation, where are you all doing mistakes and all. And then based on that, you can do the improvisation.
Sir, how to control the stress while preparing for exams, sir? Is there any tips regarding that one, sir?
Oh, okay. Controlling stress. Okay. It depends on person to person. You can use music, you can do meditation, you can go out for a walk. Okay. But that stress will be there. See, this is a life. This is foundation is one level of stress. Inter, you'll have higher stress. Final, again, you'll have more stress. Job, another level of stress. Then marriage, then after marriage stress. So that will be a part of your life. Okay. 10th also you had stress, 12th also you had stress, it will be there. So, you need to, once you realize you have stress, you try to figure out why are you having that stress. You most of the times you'll get the answer on your own. A simple technique that can help is, focusing on your breathing for about 5 to 10 minutes, right? Just be silent, focus on your breathing. That will help you to release the stress. Talk to your friends, talk to your families, and don't give, another thing, you are in your initial stages of your career, all of you, CA is not your life. CA is part of your life. Okay. CA is not your life. CA is just a part of your life. In the entire realm of things, after you pass, after 10 years, after you become chartered accountants, you'll go back and think that, those were some smaller things, right? You'll have larger challenges in life going forward. So, if you realize there is stress, try to figure out why are you getting that stress, and then maybe some sitting in silence or breathing or meditation or going to praying, then these things can help. Take regular breaks, eat good food, that should help. How to control procrastination? Now, that is one thing which I also struggled as I was a student. Sometimes even I also struggle now as well, right? So the best way to control procrastination is set a time for everything and do that particular thing in that specific time. So those of you who want to, make it more sophisticated, you can use calendars, right? Google provides Google Calendar. Outlook also has its own calendar. Your computers also have calendar, right? So you can use, let's say, Google Calendar kind of a thing, which will, so once you have that calendar, you can fix slots. Okay, from this time to this time, I'll do this. From this time to this time, I'll do this. Practice for a week and see, did you do what you were supposed to do in that given specified time? For example, I decided that on Monday, the 5th of April, from 6 to 8, I'll do accounting, this particular chapter. Okay. At the end of that day, you go back and check whether you completed that specific chapter or not for each of those days. So as you do this for, 10 to 12 days, you will start realizing where are you, faltering, and you will optimize your schedule automatically. And then things will start happening better. This is not something there is a quick fix mantra for it. Now this procrastination is largely person specific, right? Some people procrastinate, some people do everything on time. So best way is have a time for everything and do that thing at that specific point of time. Make it a habit, maybe 15 days, 20 days, 21 days. Then automatically things will fall into place. Then you'll not start procrastinating. And another important thing for procrastination is for you to answer yourself, what will you lose or what will happen if you procrastinate? See, there are two things. One, I do everything as per my time schedule. Second, I procrastinate. If I procrastinate, what will I lose? Right? Is that very important? Ask yourself this question at least 3 to 4 times a day. Then you'll automatically get an answer. Yes, if I procrastinate, then I will lose so and so thing. And when that happens, your mind will automatically come back to schedule. And yes, see, the thing is, every day will not be perfect. You will not be able to, follow that tight schedule every day. Some days there will be here and there that will happen. Don't, punish yourself for that. But then ensure that largely you are following a schedule and, being in that particular schedule that you have prepared. See, if you for example, you have to catch a flight. If you, procrastinate, then what would happen? Right? Then you will not procrastinate because catching a flight is very important for you. Same thing here. If you procrastinate, your syllabus will get delayed. And then you would think, no, if not May, then I'll write in November. If that attitude starts setting in, then it will be very difficult. Okay. So you have to answer for yourself. What is that you are going to lose because of that? Another question, a very important question. In fact, any reference books for accounts? So sadly, this generation of students who have come up doing CAs, they believe in study material and notes that are provided, right? When we did our CA, we for every subject we used to follow an additional reference book by some reputed author. So for accounts, there is a publication by Shukla and Grewal, right? Sultan Chand and Sons, right? So I'll just type in the name here. For those of you who are interested in who have time, right? So this is one book which you can refer to. It's a very good book. I still have my book what I had referred to in my CA Inter, Shukla and Grewal. They also have foundation books. So they are reputed authors writing for quite some time. You can refer to them. This is in response to a question asked by Chaitanya asking for reference books, right?
Sir, my friends are telling that after preparing the entire syllabus, please follow Suchitra scanner copies, sir. Is that mandatory, sir?
Suchitra scanner is nothing but compilation of past exam questions. Okay. So what I have also been telling you is you follow the past exam question MTPs and RTPs, right? Suchitra scanner is also compilation of that. So it is up to you. If you have time, you can go ahead and you can prepare from this. Basically, the thing is go back to the source from where the institute asked the question. So for all of you, the most important thing is just gonna share my screen. Are you just a second, guys? I'll share the screen. Yeah. So under students tab, you have BOS Board of Studies Knowledge Portal. Come to the foundation course, Principle and Practice of Accounting. Right. So we started the new syllabus scheme of education started in 2017, right? And 2018 onwards they had examination. So you have these questions for practice, you have RTPs, you have MTPs, you have question papers, you also have suggested answers, right? After finishing all of this, if you have more time, then you can go backwards and you can start referring to PE1 questions and all of those things. But see, even if you practice, I'm repeating for the sake of repetition, even if you practice 1,000 questions, there will be another 1,000 questions which you have not practiced. So the way to master and succeed in the examination is to get your concepts right, so that from wherever the adjustment comes, you will be able to handle that, right? So you can refer to additional authors, you can refer to past scanners published by Suchitra Prakashan, or you can so here also if you see, you have the question papers right from May 18 down to 3, 4, 5, 6 attempt questions are given here. Right, you can get the suggested answers for those questions here as well. November 18, May 19, November 19, November 20, right? And the same has also been, so you can come to our website and here we have compiled everything for you guys. So you can click here and then under free resources. So you have this everything put together at the same place. So for principal mock test, question papers, RTP and suggested answers. So you can even older mock tests are given. So right from in institute website, you will not get this. So October 19 and May 20, October 20, and the recent one which has come up, that also will be uploading here. So, even if you are able to do these many questions after a preparation, that should be sufficient for you. Okay.
Hello, sir.
Yeah, sir.
Yeah, sir. I heard some of my friends talking about the procrastination, right? So in that case, sir, if you are able to put test papers, for example, say this week this much chapters test, and we will be, I think it will bring a discipline and we will consistently do that chapters, learn it, so we feel that there is test paper is coming up. So I think it will bring discipline and procrastination will somehow can be avoided, right?
Okay, so point
taken. I'm telling you, sir,
it's a good idea. It's a good idea. I'll try to check up how we can implement. But then, okay, my personal suggestion, okay, so I started my CA journey in 2005. I qualified in 2009, right? So
yeah.
As a so now, okay, you have to also see that you are now moving away from a general student to a professional student. Okay. So definitely your point of view is taken, and I'll see how we can if at all we can implement something like this, or try to bring in some kind of discipline there, and then see if we can follow up with the student. But as a professional, the expectation is you start building this self discipline on your own, because the course, I'll tell you, okay, today you have a lot of coaching options, you have a lot of tuition options and all. This course was originally designed it's still designed as a self learning mode only. Okay, so to get the best, or to become to get the best out of you, or to be a very the best I should say, or to get the best out of your profession, if you are able to implement this self discipline on your own at this level itself, it will be very easy for you at inter, final, and in your job and practice. Because after your job, or after you finish your final, there will be no one who will come up and who will chase you saying that you are procrastinating, you are not. If you don't perform, you are gone. Okay, so your thing on that, having weekly or maybe a fortnightly or monthly kind of a thing, we will see if we can implement. But my personal suggestion there is, this is something which all of you should start building on your own right from now, so that by the time you are done with your CA final, and when you enter the corporate world, or when you start practice, that will be the most valuable resource that you'll have.
Yes, sir. So one of the thing I felt is that it will help us to know where we are going
No,
wrong.
definitely. So see, the idea of having mock test paper is the same thing. And your point on, can we do it chapter wise? I will, we'll figure out, and if possible, we will definitely try. At least for a couple of subjects, we'll try to, introduce. For other subjects, so for for your what do you call BCK, business economics, mathematics, logical reasoning, and statistics. For these, chapter wise tests are already available on the app. Mock, MCQs.
Yeah.
Right.
Sir.
So it's only about the remaining two subjects. We'll see if whether it will be feasible or not. We'll check, and definitely a feedback is taken. I'll pass it on to the team as well, and then we'll.
Sir, I have a small request, sir. Before I attended these classes, there was a group in my WhatsApp, sir. For every
Harsha, we have discontinued WhatsApp groups because WhatsApp group has restriction of 256 members. Okay. So as on today, we have at foundation level, writing in May and November, there are more than 180 students. Okay. For inter, there are about 700 students. So we cannot have one WhatsApp group for 700 people. Okay.
yes, sir.
So
Small.
no. So the discussion what you had in WhatsApp group, you can have it in forum. You can ask questions in the forum. You can attach screenshots in the forum, and it is being moderated. It is being answered by the team here. So you need not worry about that.
No, not that one, sir. I'm asking. My concern is regarding this. One student has told that we can conduct the some topics wise assignments regarding every subject, right?
Correct.
Yes, sir. My suggestion is that if there is any WhatsApp group or something else, so that students can interact, and they can manage they can take one initiative that in every week we can conduct one exam, and we can get the
No. So okay, Harsha. So
status of these ones, sir.
I didn't understand your question. If you want us to conduct, I have to check with the team the bandwidth what we have here, and then how we can implement. That's a separate thing. If you guys want to coordinate amongst yourself and do it, that right now is not possible, because we had got complaints in the past that students are unnecessarily disturbing other students by sending personal messages. Okay, so because of that, we have discontinued WhatsApp groups, because people are personally messaging other students and disturbing them. So that we cannot have, we can't have such kind of concerns in the online environment. See, in a physical classroom, you know each other and it is easy, right? But if someone messages something else to somebody, then we will be at problem unnecessarily. So subject related thing, please ask in the forum. We'll be more than happy to answer that. Okay, we'll build gradually as we build ahead, and we will see how we can have discussion among the students. You can have your own private group and all of that. That will take some time, but it's in some time in the future. For November 20, there will not be much change. There are few changes here and there, some changes here and there in BCK, for which also we'll be updating a video on that towards the end of the month. Largely everything else is same. What Institute has done is they have just changed, added some explanation, done some grammatical changes and all of that. Why
Hello,
are
sir.
there no videos for accounting terminology chapter 1 unit 3? Very good question. 90% of what is given in the accounting terminology chapter is covered in the different chapters. And the problem is, actually, I've opened it here. Even before you ask the question, this chapter is open here in front of me. Okay. Now, accrual you understand as a part of first chapter. Accounting policies, you understand as a part of first chapter. Accrual and mercantile basis, you have understood. Accrued expense, accrued liability, again, you have understood in fundamentals. So, advance, you understood. Depreciation, you will understand in depreciation chapter. Okay. Authorized share capital, you understand in company account. Right? Bad debts, again, you will understand in financial statement. So, bill of exchange, you have a separate chapter. Bonus shares, again, you have a separate thing. So, most of these call, you understand as a part of the, company accounts. Most of these are taught in the respective chapters, and there is, sorry to say this, but I don't understand institute's approach to give, this chapter here, and there is one more chapter in BCK. Okay. Because these have to be understood alongside the respective chapters. Once you finish the entire subject, you can come back to this chapter, and after that also, if you have some doubt in this, you can, let us know. We will try to explain that to you. But my gut feeling is 95% is given. Study material is provided, right? We have it in the resources. Those are largely taken from the institute study material, modified and made it appropriate for the student. Change in syllabus at foundation level, there will be very few. So don't worry about that. Okay.
Hello, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, actually, I want to add to the point of procrastination. Means I would suggest my class, means the one who are studying in foundation, that if you if the CA foundation is important for you, you will not procrastinate. For example, if your beloved one is sick, means if he has any problem in health, will you procrastinate in that matter? So I want to suggest that point. If something is important for you, you will not procrastinate, and no one will help you in that point.
Point taken. So yeah, so that's what I was mentioning. If you have to catch a flight, you'll not procrastinate. Okay. So anyways, so it's again, finally, it comes down to personal approach. Okay. Your feedbacks that you have given is well taken. I'll note down. The team is also there noting down the things. Whatever is possible, we'll do best for the students. Our objective is you guys should pass and you guys should build a solid career. Okay. That is there. Hard copy of our study material, it will take some more time. Till that time, you can take printouts and you can, manage on your own. Okay. So I think have covered most of your queries. We'll have more sessions coming up, for other subjects also. I'll come back again when I do BCK, right? That is also planned. Anything else you have in the interim, you can let us know. We'll try to cover it up in the next upcoming sessions. Right?
Hello, sir. One more question.
Yeah.
Sir, in the study material, will you be able to add the past papers and all? Because in each chapter, if you add the past papers, RPTs and everything, it will be easy for us to do the questions.
So yeah, we have. So okay, the thing is, we also have a limited, team size, and we have to focus on animation and video content also. This is there in the pipeline, and they may not be available for immediate attempt, but most likely for November or maybe for next May, that will be definitely there.
Yes, sir. Why? Because we will get to know after seeing the study material, we can directly get to know what type of questions.
Yeah, exactly. Your point is 100% valid, and in fact that is there in the pipeline. It's there in the plan, but then it has to go as per so its own schedule. That is what it is.
Yeah. Okay, sir.
Right.
Sir, please try to provide hard copy of the study material also, because why? Because we have been so for long hours we have been looking into the classes. Then again for study material, so if you are looking into the screen, sometimes we get eye pain and something like that.
No, but you can print the study material, right? Is it not easy for you to print? It's given in PDF format. You can download and print it. Not a problem.
Yeah, that's also one choice.
That you can do it. Accounting standards, see, whatever is given broadly, whatever is covered in the class, if you finish that extent, that should be sufficient. Need not go into very much depth of the accounting standards at CA foundation level. Okay. Chalo, thanks a lot. You guys.
Sir, only one question, sir.
Hey.
Sir, in yesterday model paper, which is released by sir, I have some doubts in the questions, sir.
Did you put it in the forum?
No, sir. Can I put the question?
Yeah, please go ahead. Free.
Sir means, sir, if I see the question, I am thinking that I understood the concept, but if I am applying it, the balance sheet is not telling.
Yeah. So you can see whatever questions you have, you take the give us the screenshot of question paper, what you have worked around it, and then you can post there. We will get back to you, and we'll we'll help you where you are making mistakes. Okay.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
From
Sir.
any source, so it may not be study material. Any other source you are referring to some question you are not able to solve it. Please feel free to ask it in the forums. We will do it. Okay. Thanks a lot. Right. All the best for your preparation. Stay safe. Times are again becoming difficult. Don't worry about the news noise around you. Right. Focus on your studies. Take care of your health, your family's health, and prepare well for your examination. Thanks a lot.